Capricorn, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Astrology Motivation by Born Without Boundaries. Welcome, guys. My name is Michelle, and in this video, we're going to go through the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun and how they play out for your day-to-day. This is for the week of May 10th through the 16th of 2023. Got my notes and I'm ready to go. We're going to start off really broad with the big things, the things that are going to impact everybody. And then we'll focus into those things that specifically Capricorns should be focused on. And then I'll break it down and tell you how everything's impacting your natal suns so you know the impact it might have on your week. Now, if you don't know where your natal sun is, you do know it's in Capricorn, right? All you really need for this video is your birth date. So I will translate the degrees of the natal suns into approximately where they would be. Approximately where they would be in terms of the dates of the month. But the most accurate is always to go grab your natal chart. That's really easy. There's a ton of websites that do it for free. Just search free natal chart, and you need your birth date, which you already have, your birth time, and your birth location. And with that, you'll have your full natal chart. And if you really love astrology, that's where you begin anyway, right? It's just to see how everything works. So if your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Capricorn, you are a Capricorn 1. If your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees, you are a Capricorn 2. And if your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees, you are a Capricorn 3. The big things that are happening this week, there's not many transits this week. In fact, I don't think there's any transit. But the big thing that happens this week is Mercury post direct on the 15th. So how does that impact us? Well, you know what? You're not honestly going to feel Mercury coming out of retrograde until, say, the 20th, because just the fact that Mercury posts direct doesn't mean it's got the momentum going yet. It still feels like it's standing still. We call it stationary. It feels like it's just standing still. And honestly, this stationary period and the period where it just starts going direct kind of can give you whiplash. It can be the worst part of Mercury retrograde. So just be aware of that. But at least it's direct and we know the end is near. That happens on the 15th. The sun is going to be conjuncting to Uranus in Taurus. The sun is now in the third decan of Taurus, so Uranus is 19 degrees Taurus, and the sun is going to be in perfect conjunction to Uranus. It was yesterday that happened at 18 degrees Taurus, and now they're both at 19 degrees Taurus. No, Uranus is still at 18 degrees. The sun is at 19 degrees, and they'll get steadily farther apart, but basically all week they will still be conjunct. This is sort of brilliant energy. This is wanting to sort of rebel against who you are, to do different things, and to welcome in surprises and to be very surprising. So if somebody kind of surprises you, like, oh, I didn't know you were into that, they may never have been before, or you may never have been before. If you all of a sudden you're interested in something suddenly. I don't know if this is directly impacting you. We'll get into it, but it's just an air of weirdness and surprise that can impact all of us right now, but especially when it comes through this kind of could be discovery or ingenuitive breakthrough that comes through around this time. So I'm excited to see how it plays out. And then we have Pluto. Now, until June 15th, Pluto is squared to Jupiter, and that is an intense aspect to begin with. It just has a feeling of relentlessness. But now, and for the next 2 weeks, Mars is also involved, because Mars is in direct opposition to Pluto, and it's also square to Jupiter. And Mars and Pluto are also squaring the south node. So there's this big old box in the sky with a slash through it. And this week, because of Jupiter's position, it is now forming a grand cross in the sky, and that will go right through next week. This is tension. That's the best way to translate it. That's relentless tension, and it's almost like building this. It's just almost like a time bomb. It feels like a time bomb. There's so much pressure here, but sort of an atomic bomb, because it implodes rather than explodes. So it's just like I'm interested to see what's going on. I know that another thing that's happening this week that we have to talk about because it directly impacts you is a grand water trine between Venus, Saturn, and the South Node. I think we're deceptively falling into a comfort zone here that we shouldn't be in, because this grand trine will dissipate by the end of this week, but that pressure box will only get more intense. So we could be lulled into a sense of security, or just deciding to enjoy what we have before something big breaks through. Really interesting. So Capricorns, your ruling dignitary is Saturn, and it's important for you to always understand what's happening to Saturn, because even if it's just background noise, it will somehow play out in your life. So Saturn is in Pisces, and it will be for the next 2.5 years. It is in the first decan of Pisces. I think it's at 6 degrees Pisces now. And this week, it is in a grand water trine. So Saturn at 6 degrees Pisces, and then I think you have Venus at 3 degrees, between 3 and 9 degrees Cancer, and then we have the South Node, which is at 3 degrees Scorpio. I mean, this is comfort zone. This is a sense of settling in and getting really cozy to the point of not wanting to hear or understand what's going on outside of you. Like, it's almost like your own little triangular bubble, in a sense. So, like I said, this will clear. It's beautiful. It's actually very harmonious energy. It's kind of lazy energy, a sense of, I just want to settle into what I have and feel good about what I have. It could lead you to appreciation of what you have, and gratitude is the best. So if it helps bring you closer to gratitude, that's great. But there is a laziness about this. There is a sense of, I don't want things to change about this. And that may not be what's impacting your personal life, but what's impacting us globally, it could impact us pretty intensely. Simply because we're getting that gushy feeling, we're getting that, like trines are like, think of being lulled to sleep sometimes. It means you're harmonious, but there's no inspiration to move forward or do anything. And I feel like the square that Pluto and Mars and Jupiter is forming with the South Node is contrary to that. And I think this is its intentional target to sort of blow this up. So that's why I say, I don't mean any real explosions, but something is coming. And it's got to be in the next couple of weeks. There's a new moon that's going to happen on the 19th of next week. Really interesting, and I'm wondering if I'm just wondering what it is. I don't want to make any predictions. In fact, I don't. But there is a calm before the storm that I'm trying to describe, is what I'm saying. Saturn is also sextile to Mercury, and Mercury, like I said, goes direct on the 15th. So there is a sense of comfort and coziness when it comes to what we probably should have let go of. There also is a sense of getting comfortable with what's happened in the past so that we can finally let it go. And so maybe that's what's coming, is finally being able to discharge and release what we've held on to for too long. But this could be the week when those X's reemerge and you are a little too ooey gooey and kind to them, but it will not last. Just an FYI. So Capricorn, let's get into the decans. If you are decan 1, so your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Capricorn, you are a December Capricorn. Between the 22nd and the 30th, maybe 31st of December, it's you guys who are a Capricorn. Capricorn 1 is December Capricorns. Your natal suns are sextile to Saturn, square to Neptune, quincunx to Jupiter, and in opposition to Venus. So the Neptune square is something that's been going on for a while. This leads us to a little bit of almost naivete, if not rose-colored glasses in our lives. A challenge to actually see things for what they really are. This is a long-term aspect, and it's something that can be quite disruptive, but so subtly you don't know it's disrupting things. So be aware of how things really are, and conscious of when people say things to you like, didn't you see that? Or didn't you notice that? Because you could be dreaming it away. You could be escaping before you can see what's actually happening. That's for the next couple of years, though. Overall, this is very creative energy and could really help inspire some fantastic new ideas, artistic projects, or the like. We have a sextile to Saturn, which is also long-term. This sense of feeling really good about your career, your opportunities, and moving it forward. Maybe changing what you want to do, but finding opportunities to do so, as well as finding opportunities through law, through what has already been established. So there could be wonderful opportunities that come to you. I'm just not sure how long it would last if the establishment itself is changing. Interesting, because if it's you that's changing and having opportunities to change the actual what's going on or what you've been doing, then that's a wonderful way to use this energy, because Saturn in Pisces is all about conceptualizing and figuring out how to turn dreams into reality. So could be a very, very exciting time for you over the next year. And then we have quincunx to Jupiter, which will stay for the next couple of weeks. That means growth. When it comes to things growing or moving too fast, it may be frustrating for you, or it may feel like things are just going too fast and a little out of your control. Like I said, that will happen for the next couple of weeks. And then you have this week only, this opposition to Venus. So when a natal sun is opposite Venus, there's some sort of tension that's going on when it comes to, could be your romantic relationships, value systems, money, something that just won't stop bugging you when it comes to, do I have enough money? Why am I getting into these hard positions again? Why do I keep having fights or arguments with my significant other? This is not a good time to meet somebody new. This is not a good time to be dating or taking it seriously when you do date. And considering that Venus is simultaneously trine to Saturn, you might take something too seriously that is actually not for you. So this is what I want you to see or recognize, or what might come to a head this week. It's not a great time for you to change any aesthetics, your personal aesthetics, the aesthetics of your environment. It's just not a good time to do it. With the opposition to Venus, don't make any big ticket sale items, like not a good time to buy a car, not a good time to buy a house, not a good time to sell a house. It's not the best time, but it only lasts a week. So just sort of do your research and let things come to a head this week to see where the issues are, and then you can work out those kinks. Let's go to Capricorn 2. Capricorn 2 is if your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Capricorn. This usually correlates to the first 10 days of January. We have a long-term aspect, actually two long-term aspects. One is a square to Chiron, which is probably going to play out in your romantic relationships, because I think there is no, I take that back. The square to Chiron is it could be pain or suffering when it comes to physical ailments or injuries that you have to work through. More likelihood of them, no, that's usually with Mars. This is usually working through what you've already experienced and trying to figure out what to do with it, or how to find some purpose in it. Chiron likes to teach through, being a hard ass. It's almost like that drill sergeant energy, who's a really like tough love kind of energy. But this is about learning how to transcend that pain and apply it to something productive. There could be physical pain, though, for the next couple of years. The next, say year and a half. And it's already been. This isn't something new. So just so that you know, if you're a little bit more accident prone now, especially around the legs area, just be aware that that's because your natal sun is squared to Chiron. We also have a trine to Uranus, which is a long-term transit. This is harmony with the odd. This is harmony with the surprises. This is harmony with with the unexpected or the strange. So if you're not acting yourself, it's because of this long-term trine with Uranus. This week, the sun is conjunct Uranus, so it will intensify, which also means that the current sun is trine to your natal sun as well. Sun trine sun is confidence, a feeling of goodness about yourself, a feeling of accepting your oddities because Uranus is involved, a feeling of finding harmony and finding beauty in them, or finding beauty where you never expected. This could be quite harmonious and beautiful, especially cathartic with that square to Chiron as well. Finding beauty in strange things or different things, including especially different aspects of you. This will be especially helpful to people who have scars, big scars, or, have had deformities of some sort because of an accident or an injury. This is a time where you'll start to see beauty in that difference. And that's actually a very beautiful thing. It can be very healing. And then we have Capricorn 3s. So Capricorn 3s, say the last 10 days of Capricorn season, usually from the 11th through the 21st of January. Okay, so this is kind of a lot. Okay, all right. Your natal suns are in opposition to Mars. This means that you're more likely for the next week and a half to be pop-offish and pugilistic, pick fights with people, or find that people naturally pick fights with you, more hot-headed and more impulsive. So watch the risks, especially to your physical self, that you take. You don't want to push yourself too hard when your natal sun is in opposition to Mars. I'm not saying that what you do normally you shouldn't do, but taking new risks or trying new things or thinking to yourself, yeah, I can do it, could end up poorly. Just FYI. By the 12th of this week, your natal suns will be trine the current sun, which brings a sense of harmony and peace to your self-image, to who you are, and to what your purpose is in life, or that you have purpose at all. So that's a real confidence, not booster, but calmer. Like it's a sense of feeling good in your own skin. A long-term transit for those of you at the cusp, so between Capricorn and Aquarius, is conjunction with Pluto. You guys would still be conjunct Pluto. This is intense change, like dynamic change that you'll never come back from, and perhaps you don't want to. Kind of change to your life, and it doesn't have to be bad. It can be extraordinarily beautiful, but ultimately these are dynamic changes that are kind of ushering in another chapter in your life. That's for the next couple of years, because that's a long-term aspect. Another long-term aspect is the sextile to Neptune, which means your creativity is on point. You should definitely use this. This is a great time to compose music, get into art of any kind. It's a sense when your mind will just know and understand. It will create opportunities for itself, is what it will. You will be creating your own opportunities out of nowhere. This is a great time to be an entrepreneur, actually. Your natal suns for the next couple of weeks are square to Jupiter. That also means they're square to the north and south node. And they're opposite Mars. So you, along with Libras, and along with say Aries, but this is actually happening in the beginning of Taurus, but still the end of Aries. It's you guys who are really getting this tension, this huge implosion, explosion of that cardinal intensity of I've got to move forward. Devil, like come hell or high water, this has got to happen. So it feels like in the air, this sense of something was supposed to happen and it's been too hard because people are too content with the way that things have been. So now I've got to explode to get anything done. If you feel that energy, if you feel that tension around you, it's because of this energy that your natal suns are a part of, and ultimately you might feel yourself being willing to do anything to push forward, and that's where you want to sort of calm yourself down and screw your integrity to its sticking point, and don't compromise your morals. Just an FYI, this is going to happen with or without you. So you trying to push and getting yourself involved, might get you in some trouble too. Yet let the universe handle this. I know it feels like there's something building. I know because I've been feeling it. I know you'll feel it too. And it will, by June, we will see. We will know what that's going to be. So overall, yeah. In summary, this is a pretty intense week. And it's good for you to put your energy into creativity or a creative outlet. This is where that sextile to Neptune will really help. And that trine to the sun is also very creative energy. The sun's all about creativity, you know, bringing something new to light. So get into your creative spaces. Even if you've never done anything before, go try a painting class, you know, go try a dancing class. Just get into like creative writing. Use your creativity. It will be very cathartic and calming for you this week. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And definitely subscribe to the channel if you loved it. Come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.